Donald Trump is going scorched earth on Nikki Haley ahead of the New Hampshire primary next Tuesday. He's gone on multiple tirades on social media, bashing Haley as a favorite of the quote-unquote establishment Republicans, and he's also lumped her in with people like Paul Ryan, Mitt Romney, and draw comparisons with Hillary Clinton as well as President Biden. At a rally in New Hampshire this week, he flat out suggested that Haley was a Democrat and really hit at her electability argument that she's made. This has been one of the key premises of her campaign, is that she would perform better in a general election than Trump would or any of her other Republican rivals. And she cited a number of polls that have pegged her with a considerable lead over President Biden. But Trump was saying that that was a fallacy, that those are cherry-picked polls. And he was arguing that the opposite is true. He was saying that he's the one that really has the energy of the base and the magic to pull off a win in November. Trump also took aim at some of Haley's crossover appeal. So there's been a lot of polls and indications that Haley has wooed a lot of independents to potentially jump into the Republican primary and help elevate her. But Trump was arguing that a lot of those voters will ultimately go with the Democrats in November. This is all very interesting, of course, because for much of the Republican primary cycle, Trump had been primarily going after Ron DeSantis, who had long been the number 2 contender. That started to shift a little bit late last year. And over recent weeks, Trump has started to pick up his offense against Haley. But that has really reached a higher gear for now ahead of the New Hampshire primary because Haley is polling somewhat competitively with him. Now, in response to all this, Haley's campaign has really brushed aside Trump's attacks. They've cut ads featuring some of his past praise for her. She's also returned fire on him a bit, knocking him for running up the deficit and arguing that chaos and drama follows him wherever he goes and that she'll be a more stable president. This back and forth between Haley and Trump is interesting to watch because New Hampshire is really one of the last primary contests that we're seeing, at least for now, where Trump has a little bit of competition in the polls. He is still basically leading in all the credible polls that we've seen, but Haley is up there a little bit with him in some of these polls. So New Hampshire may be the last contest where any one of Trump's rivals could actually come within striking distance of him. It's already a steep climb to beat him, but if he scores another blowout victory, that's going to be very difficult for any of his rivals to